The story begins with a man who stole and framed a woman.
While she was sleeping, he stole her songbook, which she had written with all her heart, and hid contraband in her suitcase. This led to Anna being caught by the waiting police when she boarded the plane. In the face of hard evidence, Anna couldn't clear her name. She had no choice but to be taken to jail. However, in order to avoid responsibility, he threatened the life of Anna's grandmother to force her to confess to the crime. Anna had to compromise for the sake of her family. As a result, she was sentenced to 50 years in prison. She was sentenced to 50 years in prison for the rest of her life. But the scumbag didn't stop there. He arranged for the prison guards to abuse Anna every day. Luckily, a fellow inmate came to Anna's rescue. Coincidentally, her cellmate was also a musician. They shared a common interest. They soon became close friends who could talk about anything. Under the patronage of her cellmate, Anna found a place in prison. She found a way to stay alive. But one day, during training, she suddenly collapsed. She was rushed to the infirmary and realized she was pregnant with the child of a scumbag. The result was that Anna didn't know what to do. She wanted to have an abortion. But when she thought of the baby's innocence, she was determined to have the baby. As time passed, soon Anna gave birth to a baby boy. In order to provide a good environment for the baby, Anna decided to leave the baby in the care of his grandmother. But she didn't realize that this decision would bring great danger to the grandmother, because the jailbird had found a way to get back at her. And so it was. As soon as the child was brought home by the grandmother, the scumbag's uncle immediately came to the door. Without a word, he pulled the trigger and ended Grandma Anna's life. Then he took the baby away. What's even worse, he set fire to the whole house. He made it look like a tragic fire. And when Anna found out, she was devastated. She was convinced that the grandmother and the child hadn't died accidentally. But now there was nothing she could do. Time passed. 17 years have passed. With the song he stole from Anna, he's become a star in the music industry. He's on tour every day. And every time Anna reads about him in prison, she wanted to go out and tear him apart to avenge the death of her loved ones. Finally, she got a chance. Due to the uncle's black power, the police have been onto them for a long time. But due to lack of evidence, the police could not arrest them directly. So the police chief found Anna use her musical talent to work as an undercover for the scum to get information. Anna, who was about to go out for revenge, agreed without hesitation. But she wasn't alert enough. She told her friends in prison about the plan. Unfortunately, the scumbag's spies overheard her. Soon the news reached the ears of the jailbird. She immediately informed the scumbag's Uncle Tom. Tom ordered her to get rid of Anna as soon as possible. In the evening, during the meal in the canteen, jailbait secretly poured poison into Anna's cup. But just as Anna was about to drink it, her best friend ran over and grabbed the glass, almost drinking it all. Anna then took the cup and drank the rest. Not surprisingly, both of them soon fell to the ground in a daze. Luckily, after a timely rescue, Anna woke up, but learned from the sheriff her best friend had died. The sheriff suspected that Tom had something to do with it. He announced that Anna had died too. That way, no one would ever know the truth. Soon after the sheriff arranged, Anna was released from her prison cell. She reintegrated into society with a new identity, but the idea of high society. But she was a little rusty on the ideas of high society. The sheriff arranged for her to receive training. Soon Anna's rehabilitation began. At night, she went to a scumbag's concert.
De su locura la voy a activar. Oye, mi bella dama, siento que tus ojos.
She tried to restrain her emotions. Using an eye-catching dress, she purposely passed by the scummy guy and attracted his attention. He followed Anna to the side. He tried to make a date with her now. And Anna, in order to carry out her revenge, she smiled and said she'd be happy to go on a date, but only if she gets a job as a talent scout. The scumbag was interested. The company was in need of new blood. He immediately invited Anna to the hotel to talk about it, but Anna handed him her card and said she'd talk to him another time, because at that moment, a woman walked up to the two of them. Although Anna greeted her politely, but the woman did not see anyone, and used an excuse to urge the scumbag to leave. And she glanced at Anna on her way out, and as Anna watched them walk away, she turned around and took a deep breath. Her nerves finally relaxed. She believed that he would contact her, and that's exactly what happened. He asked Anna to meet him on the first day. He offered her a job, because he's hit a bottleneck in his own creative work. He urgently needs a musical talent to work with him. He was in need of a musical talent to work with. If Anna can help him find, she would be allowed to work in his company. Obviously, this is not a problem for Anna. She immediately went to her partner, Jack. Jack had the financial resources to find a top-notch singer. The scumbag was thrilled to see him. If she could perform with him, his popularity would skyrocket. Anna saw right through him. She decided to organize a concert tomorrow. In order not to win the deeper trust of the scum, she wrote a new song overnight and handed it over to him the next day. No surprise, Jagged Man with Anna's new work overnight increased the number of fans by 10,000. This performance not only boosted Jaggedy's popularity, Anna also succeeded in gaining his trust. However, after entering the company of the scum man, Anna, who was eager for revenge. In order to quickly obtain information, she put a bug in his office that night. But at that moment, the scum man and his men came over. Anna, in a hurry to be smart, she lied that she left her mobile phone in his office during the day. He didn't suspect a thing. That day, Anna suddenly overheard that the scum had been invited to an event in Kasumi. He wrote down the address on a post-it note and went to the appointment. Anna realized she had a chance. She sneaked into his office. She learnt the address from the mark on the note. Then she quickly arrived at the scene. With a camera in her hand, she filmed the scum's crime. Then Anna went home. She posted the video on social media under an anonymous handle. After only half an hour, the video was on the hot list. And this is just the first step of Anna's revenge. Ferment. The scumbag's video went viral on the whole network. And at the same time, his personality completely collapsed and he was reduced to a scumbag abandoned by everyone. Although he was once at the top of the music scene, but now it has completely cooled down, and performances have been cancelled everywhere, but he is not willing to accept such an ending, and is still eager to find a chance to turn over. So she asks Anna to help her. This also fell into Anna's arms. She immediately offered a plan, and now she wants to settle the matter, so she can only wait for the heat to gradually subside, so that everyone will slowly forget this scandal, and the future will be transformed and re-emergent, and the scumbag has no other way but to accept it. But due to the long-term inability to perform, the scumbag lost his financial resources and could not support the company's expenses. Under economic pressure, he reached a consensus with Tom that he was willing to help him transport drugs through his connections, but he didn't know about this conversation. Through the monitor above his head, Anna and the sheriff heard clearly, and the sheriff immediately deployed police forces to follow the scumbag, and when he met with Tom, the police immediately took arrest action, and a shootout was imminent. The scumbag was so frightened that they fled. They used their familiarity with the terrain to successfully get rid of the pursuit of the police. Anna was very angry when she learned that the arrest failed, and she immediately called the scumbag's phone number, hoping to track him through location, but the phone is turned off, and at the same time, Tom takes the scumbag to hide in a remote warehouse, and the more Tom thinks about it, the more wrong he becomes. The more they are doing it this time. Why the police are not sure about the prophet. Tom suspected that there must be a ghost around him, so he asked the scumbag to go back and check to see that there was incense next to him. Someone had installed a bugging device, and the scumbag quickly launched an operation, searched all corners of his office, and sure enough, the bugging device was found on the ceiling. On the other hand, Anna realizes that it is very likely that her identity will be revealed after the arrest fails, so she decides to take the bugging device. But when she arrives at the scumbag's office, she finds him racing inside, and Anna talks to him under the pretext of work. Halfway, she subconsciously glanced at the ceiling and found that the listening equipment was no longer there, and Anna immediately realized the seriousness of the matter, and it was imperative to delete the surveillance immediately, otherwise she would expose her undercover identity, so she excused herself from leaving without hurrying. Then quickly sneaked into the monitoring room, formatted all the monitored hard disks, and when the scumbag was about to check the monitoring, he found that all the records had been deleted, and he immediately asked the security guards to cover the fuck and get out, and Anna escaped without danger. However, because the scumbag couldn't find out the ghost for a long time, Tom had already begun to suspect her, and arranged for his subordinates to follow her every move, and found that Anna next to the scumbag actually had a close relationship with the sheriff, and thought that Anna was going to expose her identity this time. However, Tom actually decided that it was the scumbag who betrayed him, kidnapped his mother without saying a word, and threatened the scumbag to prepare 10 billion for him, otherwise he would never see his mother. Tom would not give him any chance to explain. The scumbag hugged his head and cried that he had no money now, and Anna heard what was going on through the conversation just now. She guided the scumbag to call the police quickly, and used clever language to find out Tom's hiding place from the scumbag's mouth. She then went outside under the pretext of going to the bathroom, and told the sheriff about it, and the sheriff quickly started to act when he learned about it, and Tom was just about to move his hiding place when he was blocked by hundreds of police officers who arrived. Seeing this, Tom knew that he would not be able to escape this time, so he got out of the car and wanted to have a frontal toughness, but he was outnumbered and was shot by the sheriff and put to the ground. But her revenge is not over.
Never set anyone up because of your greed. The law of karma exists, why will turns back to hurt you. Thank you, follow for the next video on my channel.